If you've been following along on my channel recently, I dropped a video talking about a new off-grid power system I'm going to be putting here on the truck. I have multiple components by LiTime Power. There's going to be a DC to DC charger. There's going to be a shore power charger. There is a massive 320 amp hour battery and a couple other little smaller components. But bringing all those things together, wiring them all up, it is going to make a complete and efficient off-grid power system for when I'm camping. I'm out in the middle of nowhere and we have no regular electricity. I'm going to be able to keep camp running with power for multiple days with no issues. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. If you're new here, my name's Chris. Right behind me, this is the Fortune Taco. If you're new to my channel, this is my 3rd gen Tacoma, and most of the things I do here on the channel are mods and installs or gear that is related to my build. Sometimes we do some camping gear, overlanding gear, but if any of those things are something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel so you can see anytime I release future content right here on the channel. So in that first video, I gave a brief introduction of all the parts that I had listed out that I was going to be putting into this build. And now here we are, video number 2. Today, I'm going to be going over my setup and how I'm going to get everything going. We do have this storage box here from OpenRoad 4-wheel drive. That's the same exact company that makes this camper shell. The really cool thing is they make these storage boxes that would get mounted into the opening window here of the camper shell. It is then going to be a box mounted inside here. So when we open this up, we have a whole bunch of storage shelves and an organizer inside of here. And that is my plan for what I'm going to do with all of the power components. We're going to get them configured inside this box. We're going to mount them up in here. And that is how I'm going to run my complete power system. So when I open up this side of the camper, this will be my whole entire power cabinet, if that's what we want to call it. But in today's video, I'm pretty much going to be just installing the box. We have to do some drilling and we have to bolt this thing on to get it mounted into the camper shell. I want to briefly set up my layout, kind of just get a good idea for where I want to put everything, how I'm going to route all the wiring. And then in the next video, video number 3, I'm going to be actually installing this power system. So hopefully on our next camping trip, I'll be able to test it out and see how well this thing works off-grid. The battery they sent me is too big for the storage box. So I came up with a different solution. I just went to Harbor Freight today and I saw someone else do this on a power system they built. They actually put their battery inside of this would be like a milk crate. It's a modern milk crate. It's made by Bauer, one of the Harbor Freight house brands. We're gonna put the battery in here. We're gonna pretty much just strap it down to keep it in the basket. And that will prevent the battery from bouncing all over the truck and going all over the place when we're off-roading, we're crawling on the rocks. This is gonna keep the battery nice and stable, which is what we want for that big powerhouse. I think the battery weighs like 68 pounds. So we definitely want that thing secured. The more I spend time thinking about this system and what I wanna do with it, it just evolves. It keeps multiplying into a much bigger and bigger project. But that is one thing I truly love about these power systems. You can be so creative with them and they can go in so many different directions. That's what makes it truly custom and unique to your design and setup. So if you are watching these videos to try and get an idea of what you want to do on yours, just use this as a reference or maybe to give you some ideas, but then use your creativity and build your system how you want and how it's going to work for your setup. So the first thing I want to start off with, I'm actually going to clear all the electronic components, everything out of here, put them off to the side. We're going to focus on the storage box here. And this is actually, it comes flat in multiple panels in a box, and then you build it and it becomes this 3D box. It's all built out of an aluminum construction held together with some bolts and nuts. And then once you have the box assembled and built, we can then lift it up into the hole here of the camper. We have to drill some holes where these holes will be coming out and attaching it to the camper side. And then we bolt that all together and it is the final product. If any of you are wondering why I have my rooftop tent open while I'm doing this project, it's kind of silly, but I live in Arizona, for those of you that don't know, and we are at the end of July. Currently today, it's 111 degrees out. I know some people are probably like, he's crazy, why would he even be outside working on his truck? But honestly, I've lived here my whole life and I do projects all year round. Yeah, it's hot, maybe take more breaks, drink some more water, but the projects can still be done. And what I'm doing here is by putting the tent up, hopefully as the sun kind of starts to go down, it's gonna give me more shade on the side of the truck I'm working on just to bring the temperature down a little bit more and keep me out of the direct sunlight. So, not using the RTT for camping today, but using it for a makeshift awning because I don't have any type of awning system here on the truck. What I need to do is using some clamps. I'm gonna be lifting this thing from the inside up into this hole. I'm then gonna be pinching it in various spots, holding the box from the inside up against the camper so we can start to mark out some holes that need to be drilled. And those holes are then gonna line up with all of the holes around this front edge, holding this box securely to the camper shell. Take off this weather strip just to make the process a little bit easier. So using these squeeze style clamps, I pinched the top 2 corners once I had it aligned in the opening here. Now here comes the tricky part. On the inside of the box, all the way around this inner edge, there's a couple holes, like I feel one here. We have to drill into the side of the camper wherever these holes are at. So what I wanna do is from the inside, where every single hole's at, I wanna use a marker to try and mark all in the hole, every single one of them all the way around. I'm then gonna take the box off and put it aside. Where I have all those markings at, I'm gonna try to use a drill bit. I'm gonna drill out the holes, and then hopefully when we put this back on and align everything, we can put all the bolts in, we bolt this thing to the side of the camper shell, and that is a done deal, and our storage box is installed. And now when we look on the inside, it actually came out pretty good. Hopefully those are coming out on the camera, but those yellow dots, everywhere there's a yellow dot, I now need to drill out a hole that will fit the hardware from the storage box. Now the moment of truth, we have all the holes drilled out. All the other holes look pretty good. My bottom holes slowly droop to the right, so the box was not level. Mess up on my part, the holes are already drilled, so I mean, it's kind of too late now, but we will see what happens when I put it in there. Release that. It is a new day. Yesterday I ran out of time. I had some dinner plans with the wife, so I had to wrap it up, put everything on hold so we could pick up on everything today. But yesterday I got the install finish of the box. You saw obviously I drilled all the holes, mounted it up, and then I went ahead and put that weather stripping back on. So the box portion install is done and complete. We now have a storage system here inside of the camper shell. And as we can see from the inside, it does not take up that much space, takes out a little bit here in this corner, but it's not too bad for the benefits that it gives us by having now this storage shelving system inside of this side of the camper shell. I want to place all my components in here, kind of get an idea for a layout of how and where I want to install the components. So I'm going to grab everything, we're going to put it in here, kind of lay it out in a general idea of how I think it should be done, and that will give me a good idea of what other parts I need to buy, if I need to get some fuse disconnects, if I need to get some power switches, all the wiring I need to get. I'm gonna definitely be drilling a lot of holes in here. So let's grab all those components, let's get everything put into the box here and get an idea for the layout of this power system. So first I'll take this DC to DC charger. And like I said, I'm gonna kind of move things around, just get a good feel for how I want the layout to look like. Some of these bus bars to help distribute some of my power. I'm probably gonna mount them back in here. Kind of centered up there so we can feed wires from all of our power and distribute it out to where it needs to go, whether it be power coming in or power going out. The second largest component of this is gonna be our power inverter. Massive 2000 watt power inverter. It'll convert this into AC, so if for some reason I have a larger appliance, air conditioning system, something that needs a regular wall outlet, this is going to convert that DC to AC power. I have the safety hub here by Blue Sea Systems. This is a DC power distributor, I guess if you want to call it. It's a big fuse block. So we're going to be bringing power off of one of these bus bars into the safety hub, and then it's going to distribute 12-volt DC power throughout the camper setup as needed. So if you guys saw in one of my previous videos, that lighting setup I have inside the camper shell by GoFlux, that is run off of 12-volt power, and right now I just have it tapped into some other electrical in the bed. So I can run all the camper shell lighting to this, and as long as this system has power, all of my camper lights can be powered on. If I have any other accessory lights, if I have any type of camp lights or something like that that is shining light over the whole entire camp, if it's a 12-volt system, we wire it into here. As long as my camping system has power, that will give it power. So as the build goes on, as I find more reasons to add power, this thing will really come in handy. I currently have an onboard air compressor mounted up in the bed, and it's just running to my truck's battery. I might rewire that and actually run the compressor into this. So as long as my off-grid power system has power and juice in it, I will be able to feed my onboard air compressor with this power system. Another thing we have here is a Shore power charger. Not 100% sure on where I want to put this one yet. This one might go with the battery, but that might be a good spot for it. I'm not 100% sure yet. That's why I'm kind of laying this stuff out. I have some time to think about it and kind of put things where they're going to make the most sense. With this though, say you're getting ready to go out on a camping trip, this is where you can plug into an extension cord in your garage, your house, or if you're at a campsite that has electricity, this power will be able to charge up your battery. So you can plug this into a regular wall outlet and juice up the battery before you even head out on a trip. The last thing we have is going to be this massive 320 amp hour battery. This one's going to be staying in the bed. Talked to you guys about it a little bit earlier, but I have this milk crate I bought from Harbor Freight. The battery will be staying in here. I just need to find a way to kind of tie it down and secure it inside of here. More than likely, this will go all the way to the back, and it's going to sit right there nice and snug in the bed, and it's going to be secured inside of this plastic milk crate. That will hold our battery, which will then feed power up into this whole entire power system. I'm going to be running power from that battery up into the box, and it's going to feed either in here or in here. Haven't figured that out yet, but I need to run the battery power into the distribution box here, into these bus bars. So we're going to run positive and negative. That's going to be running our power in. And then one of our main juice up power connections is this DC to DC charger. So this needs to get wired up under the truck into the front. It's going to be connected to our starter battery and alternator. So whenever the truck is running, this thing will be juicing up and powering the battery in the bed. This just helps top off the battery so we can keep powering it and juicing it anytime the truck's running. If we're driving to a new campsite, we're going to be topping off all our power systems. So this will be coming from the starter battery into here, and then from here to our bus bars. So that'll help complete the cycle of bringing power in and putting power back into the battery. And then also coming off our bus bars, we're going to be going to the inverter. So as long as that truck bed battery has power, it'll go into the bus bar, into the inverter, and the inverter out to whatever we have plugged into here. Like I mentioned, this wall charger, not sure if I'm going to leave it here, if I'm going to kind of just put it in that crate with the battery, but as long as we are somewhere with any type of wall outlet power, we can use this, which would be wired into our bus bar system. That will also feed juice into the battery. And then also coming off of these bus bars is our safety hub. So any type of 12-volt accessories we have. I'm probably going to run some wiring up through the camper shell roof, and it'll go into my rooftop tent. I'll have some USBs in there, maybe cigarette lighter, so I can power cell phones, whatever I'm charging at night. I do have some lighting in my rooftop tent. That can all be powered by this, which would then be powered by this whole system. I'm thinking about possibly putting some lights up in here, so at nighttime I can see all of my power system. That will run off this. The camper lights in the camper shell I talked about, the air compressor. So this fuse block has numerous connections. So what you do here is positive comes in and distributes with all of this here. You have four, I can't remember the name of them, but these are four bigger fuses. You can actually put, I think up to, I don't know if it's up to an 100 amp fuse. I'll have to look at the details and see, but these are some bigger fuses. These are your small T-style blade fuses that you'd see just like under the hood of your truck. We have 6 smaller fuses here and 4, so we have 10 sources of power that we can use on this fuse block. And then this whole entire side here is just all of our negative hookups for everything related to here. So that will come in handy to convert all of my off-grid power that needs to stay as a 12-volt power source. So that's pretty much gonna be it for the layout and setup of what I'm gonna be doing with this power system. Now is your chance before I drop my next video. If you do have any questions or if you have any suggestions for the way I'm doing this setup, if you have any improvements, things I might need to add to it or consider, maybe you have more knowledge than I do on this stuff because I am very amateur at this stuff, please drop a comment down below. I will use that feedback and hopefully use those suggestions. If they're gonna work in my setup, they will be implemented in that future video when I actually start doing the install. So I truly appreciate your guys' feedback if you have any type of help you wanna offer for this setup here. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you are subscribed to the channel so you can see that future video. We still have 2 more videos coming out in this series. Make sure to check those out. I'll have all the information in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. It helps the video be more successful to get seen by people just like yourself. I appreciate you guys for sticking around all the way to the end of the video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you on my next video.